There is a $2 water purifier sitting in your kitchen right now. It removes bacteria, parasites, heavy metals, and chemical runoff from any water source you find in the field. It has been tested by independent engineers. It has been used by military survival units operating in contaminated environments. It has been validated by the same science that built the first municipal water systems in the world. And the $4 billion outdoor filtration industry has spent 30 years making sure you buy a $60 filter instead. This is that story. Welcome to Forbidden Camping. If you are not subscribed yet, hit subscribe and the bell right now. This is where we dig up what the outdoor industry buried and spent decades making sure you would never find. Here is the number they do not want you to read first. 785 million people on this planet currently have no access to clean drinking water, according to the World Health Organization's most recent global report. Every year, 1.2 million people die from waterborne illness. Cholera, typhoid, giardia, cryptosporidium, dysentery, and every single one of those deaths is preventable. The technology to make water safe to drink has existed for over 2,000 years. It does not require electricity. It does not require a proprietary filter cartridge you replace every 3 months. It does not require a retail shelf in a sporting goods store. It requires activated charcoal, clean sand, and gravel. That is the $2 water purifier. 3 layers, 3 materials, 0 patents, 0 recurring purchases, 0 dependency on any brand ever selling you a single thing again, which is exactly the problem. Let me take you back to where this starts, not in a laboratory, in a river. Around 2000 BC, Sanskrit medical texts from ancient India described a method for purifying contaminated water using charred wood and sand filtration before consumption. The same method appears in Egyptian medical papyri from roughly the same era. Greek physician Hippocrates documented a fabric and charcoal filtration process around 400 BC that he prescribed specifically to patients suffering from waterborne illness. This was not folk medicine. This was the most advanced water science the ancient world possessed. And it worked, because the biology has never changed. In 1627, Sir Francis Bacon published the first European scientific account of sand filtration for purifying seawater. By the 1700s, European households used charcoal filtration routinely for wells and cisterns that had been contaminated by surface runoff. In 1829, the Chelsea Waterworks Company in London installed the first large-scale slow sand filter for municipal water supply. It became the foundational model for public water treatment across the entire industrialized world. The same biological and mechanical principles that family kept inside kitchen knowledge for centuries had just become the engineering backbone of modern civilization. The knowledge was never secret. It was never obscure. It was never primitive. It was just never profitable enough to keep selling. If you are still here, you already understand something most people in a gear shop never will. Subscribe and share this with someone who needs to remember what a billion-dollar industry trained us to forget. Everything the outdoor industry buried is inside the complete forbidden camping vault. Emergency shelters that outperform any $200 tent. Fire techniques classified as dangerous by the biggest equipment manufacturers. Natural water protocols that professional survival instructors still use in the field today. The link is in the description or scan the code on your screen. Stay with me. The science is next. Here is exactly what is happening inside a $2 activated charcoal and sand filter and why no synthetic membrane can chemically outperform it on a per-dollar basis. Activated charcoal is not the same material as the ash left behind from a campfire. It is wood or coconut shell that has been burned at extremely high temperature in a low oxygen environment, then activated by steam or chemical treatment to open millions of microscopic pores across its surface. 1 single gram of activated charcoal has a measurable internal surface area of approximately 500 square meters, confirmed by independent materials science research. That is not a typo. 1 gram. 500 square meters of surface area available to trap and bind contaminants. That surface area works through a process called adsorption, not absorption. Adsorption. Contaminant molecules from the water passing through bond directly to the carbon surface at the molecular level and stay there, They do not pass through. They do not release back. They are captured. Activated charcoal successfully removes chlorine, sediment, volatile organic compounds, heavy metals including lead and mercury, pesticide residue, pharmaceutical compounds, and the organic chemicals responsible for taste and odor contamination. A 2020 review published in the Journal of Water Process Engineering confirmed activated carbon filtration removes up to 99% of organic chemical contaminants in controlled conditions. A bag of activated charcoal sufficient for field use costs between $1 and $2 at any aquarium supply store or health food retailer. Now add the second layer, sand. Fine sand filtration operates on two simultaneous principles. The first is mechanical. Particles larger than the gaps between sand grains physically cannot pass through. Protozoa like Giardia and Cryptosporidium, which cause the most common severe waterborne illnesses among backcountry travelers, are physically too large to penetrate fine sand filtration at the correct depth and density. The second principle is biological. Over time, a slow sand filter develops a biological layer at the top called a Schmutzdecke, a German technical term translating roughly to dirt blanket. That layer contains naturally occurring microorganisms that actively consume bacteria and pathogens entering from above, the same science that keeps a $40 million municipal water treatment facility running, available in your hands for under $2. The third layer is gravel. It serves as the mechanical pre-filter, removing large debris, sediment, and organic matter before water reaches the sand and charcoal layers. It also maintains flow rate and prevents the finer materials from compacting under pressure. 3 layers. Total material cost under $2. Total assembly time under 20 minutes. Now here is where the numbers become deeply uncomfortable. The global outdoor water filtration and purification market was valued at $4.1 billion in 2024, according to industry analysis published by Grandview Research. That market includes companies like Sawyer, LifeStraw, Katadyn, MSR, Hydra Blue, and dozens of others. Every one of them sells a product at retail between $20 and $350. Every one of them sells replacement cartridges, filter elements, or treatment tablets as a recurring revenue stream. LifeStraw alone, one of the most widely recognized survival brands in the outdoor market, generated over $100 million in annual revenue. Their flagship personal filter costs $20 retail and filters 1,000 gallons before replacement is required. Replacement units are sold continuously. You cannot patent sand. You cannot build a proprietary gravel subscription. You cannot create brand dependency around activated charcoal when every aquarium store on the planet sells it for $1.50 a bag. The entire revenue model of the filtration industry requires you to believe that complexity equals performance, that a proprietary hollow fiber membrane inside a branded plastic casing filters water meaningfully better than the material that built municipal water systems for 200 years. It does not. Not meaningfully, not on a per-dollar basis, not for the contamination profiles a backcountry traveler actually encounters. So instead, you were handed a gear list. You were told your safety depends on certified filtration. You were told that natural methods are unreliable, unquantified, and dangerous. And the market hit $4 billion, confirming exactly how well that message landed. Here is how to build the $2 purifier right now. Find any clean plastic bottle, a 2-liter works well, or cut the bottom off a larger container. Invert it so the narrow neck points downward. That is your filter housing. Layer 1 at the bottom. A small piece of cloth or a coffee filter pressed into the neck opening. This keeps the layers from falling through and provides initial particle screening. Layer 2. 2 to 3 inches of activated charcoal packed above the cloth. Break larger pieces down if needed. This is your chemical and heavy metal adsorption layer. Layer 3. 3 to 4 inches of fine, clean sand packed firmly above the charcoal. This is your mechanical and biological filtration layer. Layer 4 at the top. 2 to 3 inches of small, clean gravel. This is your pre-filter for large debris and sediment. Pour source water slowly into the top through the gravel layer. Collect filtered water from the neck outlet below into a clean container. Run 2 to 3 full passes of water through before collecting for consumption. The first passes prime the filter and clear loose particulate from new material. Collect your drinking water on the third pass and beyond. For field conditions involving confirmed bacterial contamination, add a final treatment. Bring filtered water to a rolling boil for 1 full minute, or 2 minutes above 6,500 feet elevation, per CDC Wilderness Treatment Guidelines. Boiling combined with this filter addresses every significant contamination category you will encounter in a backcountry environment. Total cost, under $2. Total weight, whatever container you build it in. Total dependency on any brand, 0. The knowledge did not disappear because it stopped working. Slow sand filtration still runs municipal water systems in cities across Europe today. Activated charcoal still purifies water in emergency response operations across every disaster zone in the world. It disappeared from the gear aisle because it cannot be packaged. It cannot be patented. It cannot bring the same customer back to pay for a new cartridge next season. Your great-grandfather knew this. The Roman military engineer who kept a legion alive in occupied Gaul knew this. The indigenous guide navigating a river basin without a brand sponsor knew this. 50 years of gear culture convinced a generation to buy the $60 solution to a $2 problem. If this video opened something for you, subscribe and share it forward. Every person who finds this is one less customer they can count on. Every share preserves what they spent billions to bury. The link is in the description or scan the code on your screen. The next vault opens soon, and what is inside is heavier than this one.